Well, one of the very first loans that we ever gave out at the lending journey was to a girl named Monica, and Monica lived out in a rural community um, in a small village called San Ignacio, and she lived right at the very top of the mountain because that was where the poorest of the poor lived, and we lent Monica money to start a small little restaurant. And her first loan, I think, was for around $100. And with that loan, she bought a couple of blenders and started making fruit drinks for people in the village. Monica was introduced to us through a social worker who had done some work with her because Monica had become suicidal. She is a single mom raising 4 children in basically what was a desert, and no means of outside support, and she had become just so unbelievably desperate. And so the lending journey came in and really helped her by giving her a small loan to help her way out of poverty. And amazing story, she repaid that first loan. We gave her a second loan, I think was for around $200, and she bought a barbecue, a couple of tables to expand her little restaurant. And then she repaid that loan, and she then took a third loan and then added a section onto her house where people could eat inside her little restaurant. So it's amazing the longevity of money that's donated and how far it can go. Sadly, which often happens in third world countries, Monica got ill, she got cancer, and there were no hospitals for really the poor of the poor, and Monica sadly passed away. What makes Monica's story really unique is that 3 or 4 years that we were able to work with her before tragedy set in, we got to see somebody go from total hopeless despair to such great joy, and the joy of I think her believing that her kids were destined for a better future, and her excitement about that. And really, that's what the lending journey is about.